Dang. There's people saying no sell. My fault. All right. So I said a whole bunch of nothing so far. That's the first thing that I realized. My mic, if you guys see it not red, that means it's I'm talking not to I'm talking just to talk. So all the only thing I said so far was yesterday I had a 1-on-1 day with Philly first half. They looked really, really good in the first half. And then Philly full game was the loser. They got smoked after the third quarter. I think they ended up giving up like 70 points in the second half, which is going to be interesting today to see how they play against Minnesota. With them being unrested, Minnesota being on the second leg of a back-to-back, and them not being able to really stop anybody from getting to the paint. So you give up that many points to a New Orleans Pelicans team that can't really shoot the ball well. Like it should be, a little bit harder to get stops today against a Minnesota team that can really score the ball, at all three levels. They will be without Rudy Gobert today, but we'll get to that game and talk about it as well. Hopefully you guys were able to find some ways to make some money. The last thing I said that I probably left some money on the table. I was playing basketball with my son yesterday when the news came out that Grayson Allen was going to play. That was what I was waiting for. Jalen Suggs got ruled out. So it was perfect for it to be on Phoenix yesterday. I told you guys I like Phoenix minus the 1.5. They got the job done. Jalen Green hitting that three-pointer in the right corner with no time left, even though it took double overtime. So that would have been a winner. Left that one on the board. And then I also left Drummond over his 10.5 boards. He cashed that in the third quarter. So that was an easy winner also. And I left both of those on the board. So a little bit of a frustrating day. Only lose, a tenth of a unit, but it's still frustrating when you lead the winners on the board. Hopefully you guys were able to find some ways to make some money, and the show helped you out yesterday. Let's see. What's up, Algene? Appreciate you for tapping in. What's up, Mid-Range Bully? He says, what's the word? Let's crack him today. I need it. He says, I know I'm automatically feeling like we should fade the Magic and Suns just based on the 2 overtimes they played last night. I'm going to talk about those because I didn't fade either one of them mid-range, but I'll talk about them. What's up, Jerry? Appreciate you for tapping in. Appreciate everybody for letting me know I was muted. Let's see. What up, Mark? Hope all is well with you. I was super locked in. What up, Prolific? Let's see. Yeah, I was watching a little bit of that U.S.-Canada game this morning as well. So you know what? Let me get up and get the show done, man. Let's see. What up, Jojo? Appreciate you for tapping in. All right, let's jump into it for today. So first up, we'll start with Jackson. AI Sports Betting Tool. Jackson gave you guys 2 looks yesterday. First one was Phoenix minus the 1.5. They got the job done. And then Philly, New Orleans under the 231. That game went over the total last night with Philly not being able to play a lick of defense last night. The game did go over the number. So finished 237 last night. So as far as today, I asked Jackson I'm trying to switch the prompt up a little bit. So today's prompt is let's see. I'll give you guys a side. So here's the prompt for today. I asked Jackson to highlight any market discrepancies where the public sentiment or social chatter is heavily favoring one side, creating value on the opposite side, provide a confidence rating for each pick based on historical backtesting for similar matchups. So Jackson says it's scanning the 11-game slate to identify where public is leaning too heavily on one side by cross-referencing herd mentality and social media buzz with our sharp efficiency metrics like net rating, transition defense, half-court execution. So then it comes back and it spits out Cavs. It says recommendation Cavs -2, which I don't think the line is -2. I don't think we have any 2s left. But it says the public sentiment is heavily favoring the Thunder due to their status as the number 1 seed in the Western Conference and their elite home court reputation. However, social chatter is failing to account for the devastating impact of the Thunder's current injury report, with SGA and Jalen Williams both ruled out. OKC's missing 2 primary engines. So the SGA and Jalen Williams effect cannot be overstated. Beyond just scoring, the absence cripples OKC's perimeter defense, which now has to contend with the red hot backcourt of Donovan Mitchell and James Harden. Cleveland's 5-0 since integrating Harden, whose playmaking has stabilized the offense that now ranks 4th in the NBA. Historical backtesting and matchups where a top 3 seed is missing is 2 top scorers and faces a team on a 5-game winning streak. the healthy favorite has covered the spread 68% of instances over the last 4 seasons. Okay, I'm not even sure how you find that. Cleveland's Death, featuring Evan Mobley, who has cleared his combo prop in 10 of 11 games, should overwhelm a skeleton crew of the Thunder's rotation. The next one is on the Celtics. So the Battle of LA narrative and the Lakers' recent win over the Mavericks have shifted public sentiment towards the Lakers, especially with Jason Tatum sidelined for Boston. Social chatter is buzzing about the Lakers' statement win, but the efficiency metrics suggest that the Celtics system remains superior even without their primary star. So while the public sees no Tatum and assumes the Lakers' victory, the Celtics still boast the second ranked offense and 8th ranked defense in the NBA. Jaylen Brown is projected to clear 30 points tonight, stepping into a high usage role vacated by Tatum. The Lakers defense is a major liability, ranking 24th in the league with a 116.7 defensive rating. Historical backtesting shows that road favorites with the top 10 defensive rating facing the bottom 10 defense has won outright in 64% of the matchups this season, regardless of a single star missing. Boston's ability to protect the ball, their second in turnover percentage, will be a deciding factor against the Lakers team that struggles with discipline, with struggles with taking the ball away, ranking 23rd in turnovers. So those are the 2 looks for today. Celtics money line and Cavs -2. It says BetMGM has this number, but I don't think it's 2 anywhere. So just take that with a grain of salt. Use it for your own handicapping process. And let's get into it for today, man. Let's get into it. So first up, and the link is in the description if you guys are interested in checking Jackson out. So let's get into it. So first game up is the Cavs and Thunder. I see this line is 4. Let me just double check. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Open at 1.5. I saw yesterday, I think I wrote in my notes 2. I wrote 2. And total was at 224. It's been bet up to 226. So starting right where Jackson talked about with the injury report in this game, you do have the Cavaliers with everybody in except Max Strus, who hasn't played in forever. OKC, no Caruso, no SGA, no AJ Mitchell, and no Jalen Williams, of course. So, one of the things I think that we have to do in this game, we know that we know that the Cavs have won, 5 straight? They're 7-3 against the spread in their last 10 games. They've won 7 of their last 9. Even before Harden came over, they were already kind of cooking. This is third game in 4 nights, though. They have had to travel every single game since the All-Star break. Started at home with the win against Brooklyn, then go to Charlotte on the second leg of a back-to-back. Used yesterday as a travel day. And then today, of course, they're in OKC. So one thing I wanted to – I don't think I looked at this last night. I wanted to check. I'll give you guys what I got in my notes, though. So OKC has not been covering. They are 5-3 straight up, 4-4 against the number without SGA. The only time that they were dogs without SGA, they actually lost the game outright to the San Antonio Spurs and didn't cover that number. That was also the game, though, that they were missing a lot of players, more than just SGA. It was about a week and a half, right before the All-Star break. So I think you got to take that with a grain of salt. Cavs do have revenge in this spot. They lost 136-104 at 6-point dogs a little over a month ago. The last 4 meetings have gone over the number as well. I'm going to just tell you guys what I think about this game. I think that the total going up, I kind of disagree with. I think that we see OKC's best defensive, performance in a game like this. Both of these teams have been playing a lot slower as of late. OKC over the last 2 weeks, especially without having SGA and Jalen Williams, are 25th in pace. So they've, slowed it down to a snail's pace, 25th in pace, just 95 possessions per game. The Cavs with James Harden have also done the same thing. If you look at the Cavs full season numbers, they're 11th in pace, 100.7 possessions per game. Over the last 5, though, last 5, they're 22nd in pace, 97.5. We just cashed the under with them against Charlotte in their last game. They are second in offensive efficiency, 16th in defensive efficiency. The Oklahoma City Thunder have taken a step back from an offensive perspective, which makes sense without them having Jalen Williams and in SGA on the full season. They're 4th in offensive efficiency last 5 games. They're 11th. Defensively, they are still 10th in their last 5 games. I just kind of think that we see some really good defense. I think OKC is going to make it hard for Cleveland to score the basketball. Jared Allen has been really, really good since the addition of James Harden. I think he's going to struggle down there with Chet Holmgren and Isaiah Hartenstein. So I think the total has gone up, and I don't agree with it. I think we see under in this game. Really, really difficult for me to want to take. Here's my only problem with taking Cleveland. I do think, based on matchup on the floor, Cleveland is the better team, with everything that they have. This will be the first, true test, in my opinion, for this Cleveland Cavalier team. When you look at the Cavs over, the games that they played since James Harden came over, they did beat the Nuggets. Didn't cover that line. They were laying 3.5. Actually, did cover that line. They were getting 2.5. Beat the Wizards. They beat the Nets, and they beat the Hornets. This is going to be by far the biggest test. I don't think we can just run to the window and back the Cavs on the road here in this spot. So I guess I say all that. It kind of sounds like a Cleveland team total under. I think that would be the way that I would want to play this game. Cleveland team total under or full game under would be the ways that I want to play this game. It's just real quick. Let's see what this Cavs team total is real quick. The Cavs team total specifically is, and even if it's not full game, at least first half, I just think we see, this is the first time, I tweeted this yesterday, this is the first time OKC has been a home dog in a regular season game since, March 29th, 2024. So it's been a while. We have not seen the Cavs OKC be a home dog in quite a while. You get Cleveland team total under 115.5. I kind of think we see, as my guy Cal would say, I think we see OKC's best defensive fastball in this game. That's the way that I'm thinking about this one. Let's see what you guys are thinking here, and then we'll keep it pushing. Let's see. What up, 77 Pieces? Great morning, Pistons. Easy work last night. Pistons -10.5. Yeah, they got the job done against the Bulls. Let's see. What up, King Simba? Appreciate you for tapping in. Daniel says Cavs are letting people shoot threes. I'm playing McCain over his 1.5 and 3+. Also like Isaiah Joe, but it's a little bit juiced. Okay, I could definitely see that. Aaron Wiggins under his 6.5 rebounds, and Isaiah Hartenstein double for winner life. Okay. Mid-range asking about Isaiah Joe points. I didn't look into his points specifically. H-Town Cecilian is under OKC offense been looking real shaky lately, and that's a fact. That's one thing I looked at as well, just to kind of give you guys those numbers. If you look at the Thunder, remember right before the break, they lost. They couldn't score the ball against the Bucks. They were big favorites in that game, though. But against the Nets, they scored 105 points, 105 to 86. Against the Bucks, 93 points to 110. So they've gone under their team total in back-to-back games, not even close to hitting their team total. 21 points and 10 points under their team total in both games. I just kind of think that their games over the last 30 days, going all the way back to January the 23rd, have been averaging just 219 points. So I kind of think we see under as well. And it wouldn't surprise me if they found a way to keep this game close either. Appreciate you, DJ. Nobody really got too many super strong thoughts in this game. I like under. I didn't bet it yet, but I'm probably going to be on the under, just so you guys are aware. All right, next game up, Nuggets and the Golden State Warriors I wanted to talk about. So line this one was at 4.5 yesterday, and it's up to 6 now. Total was at 230.5. It's actually come down to 229.5. So on the Denver side of things, Jamal Murray is listed as questionable. Porzingis is probable. No Steph, of course. Who else they got? Aaron Gordon still out. Pickett is out. Peyton Watson is out. On the Golden State side of things, I said Porzingis is probable. Steph is out, and Seth remains out as well. So Denver, third game in 4 nights. They are 20-11 against the spread on the road. They typically, been cleaning teams up on the road. However, when they play against teams that play good defense, they've been getting absolutely, I wouldn't say absolutely smoked, but they haven't been able to score the basketball or get stops as they need to. So I'll be quick with this one. This is for Golden State. They really, really struggled as of late without Steph Curry. They're only 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 games, 13-15-1 against the spread at home. So they just haven't been profitable at home. Only covered one of their last 7 games. This is the last game before game homestand, and they played in 3 straight overs. As far as the season series, Golden State did win the first meeting way back in October. Denver won the next two, both going over the total, 230.5 and 233.5. So when I look at the Warriors, this team has played 3 straight overs, 231, 239, and 227 in their last 3 games. All have gone over the number. And then when I look at the Nuggets, I'll just show you. Actually, I'm going to show you guys this real quick. The Nuggets is as road favorites. Not a team that I'm interested in laying too many points with. I think I still got this pulled up on another tab. Yeah. All right. So this is the way I think about this game. Let me just share my screen real quick. All right, cool. So this is the way I think about this game, man. I know the Warriors offense has not been great by any stretch of the imagination, but this is give me the dog. And this is the Nuggets as road favorites with games that Nikola Jokic plays in. So that's what I have here. This season, Nuggets road favorites, games with Jokic plays in. And the thing that jumps out to me the most, they're 9-8 against the spread, typically laying about this many points, about 6. But I like over. Look at this. Look at the Nuggets when they're laying points on the road. I just think about this team as not being a team that cares too much about defense when they're favorite. When they're a dog, they typically, come out guns blazing. They trying to get stops. But with Jokic out there, they just really trying to run up and down the floor. They don't really care. They've gone over, and I think every single game since the All-Star break as well. Look at them as road favorites. Yeah, they just beat the Clippers. Game went over by 2.5 points. Before that, we backed them against the Bulls. They won that game. That went over by 20.5 points. They're just giving up a ton of points. Look at this DPA, the points that they allow their opponent to go over. Their team total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight overs in this spot. And again, they're 13-4 to the over, 76.5% in this game. I think we see points. I just told you guys the Warriors also, not really getting a lot of stops. They've gone over in 3 straight games as well. So I like over in this one. Denver and Golden State over the number. I think the pace will be there. I trust the Nuggets to score, and I trust the Nuggets not to play any defense. So I like over in this game. Let's see what you guys are thinking here. Don't really want to lay the points with the Warriors. With the Nuggets, if I'm being honest, because they just don't care about covering. They just care about winning, in my opinion. Martez asking about Chet over his rebounds and assists. Yeah, maybe so. I know he's been struggling to score the basketball without Isaiah Harden. Without SGA and Jalen Williams, but I think he's under his points in like 8 straight games. I was looking into that earlier. 77 figures is no reason to bet OKC until SGA returns. Impossible to cap him. Nah, you can cap them 77 figures. And I didn't talk about this when I was talking about the game. But you can definitely cap them. I'm gonna show you guys something real quick. So let this load real quick. All right, so watch this. This is how you cap them. So this is Clean the Glass, and there's a link. There's no link in the description. If you guys are interested, just go to cleantheglass.com. But if you go to teams here, right? And people have seen me do this before. If you go to teams here, you go to OKC, and you go to lineups, and then you start to look at their team efficiency in 4 factors. So OKC averages 119 points per 100 possessions, right? Which is an 81st percentile. Pretty good, right? They're plus 12 in point differential because they give up about 107, right? So 119, 107. So if we take SGA off the court, I did this last night, and we take Jalen Williams, the good Jalen Williams, the scoring one, off the court. Remember that 119 offensive rating. This is going to update in just a second. It comes all the way down to 110. So they score about 9 points per 100 possessions less without SGA on the floor. Defensively, 102.9. So the defense gets a lot better. The offense, not as good. And this is another reason why I like the under in this game. I think it's going to stay under the number today. So for me, it was pretty easy to cap as far as the total goes. I think, Cleveland defensively, they can be pretty good. I think that if OKC's threes aren't falling, which they haven't been recently, I think we see a game go under, and that's why I like it. I didn't bet it yet, but that's what I'm looking at in that game. So that's my thought process on it. Let's see. Marks, he played Denver minus the 4.5. What up, Chicago Loop? Nuggets defense is spooky, but Golden State's lineup looks like a Euro basketball starting lineup. Denver minus the 6. I can't lay it with Denver, but I understand it. Jess Dre says, Outlier showed me the over for the Nuggets Warriors game, and I took it. Yeah, that's what I like in this one too. So 1 under, 1 over so far. All right. Do me a favor, hit the like if you can. If you find the show valuable, if any of this is helping you guys out, just do me that one favor. Smash the like button if you can. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and let's keep going. All right, next one up. I know y'all probably thinking, why are we talking about the Hornets and the Wizards? I'm only talking about the games. I told you guys, at the beginning of the first, right after All-Star break, I'm going to be skipping over these tanking teams. But I do think, if I can find some value, I'm trying to, that's what you're always looking for, value, ways to kind of bet these games. And I do think that there's a little bit of value in this game. So we're looking at the Charlotte Hornets and the Washington Wizards line last night. What did I write down in my notes? I wrote down 228.5. So 10.5 was the number Charlotte was laying. It's up to 12, and total has come down to 226.5 as well. I think that's the consensus, and that's the lowest number you can get. So we look at the injury report really quickly, and on the Washington side of things, they will be without Sar, and of course Trae Young and AD. And Kaishan George is listed as questionable. Julian Champagnie is also listed as questionable. I do want those guys to play. USA won. Okay, I just got a notification from ESPN. That's dope. All right, so on the Charlotte side of things, no Bridges, no Diabate. I kind of think about this game, right? You got a Charlotte team that has been, pretty good ATS on the road. They're 18-11 on the road, 8-2 against the spread in their last 10. Back-to-back losses against Houston and Cleveland. So I expected them to be, a little motivated. They have covered 3 straight. They haven't been this big of a favorite. Washington has triple revenge. Charlotte's won every single game that they played so far. Charlotte covered the first 2, but then Washington was getting 11.5 in Charlotte and didn't win that game. Now you got Washington getting 11.5, 12 at home. So it is like a strong number towards Charlotte. I just kind of think that both teams can score in this game. Initially in my notes, what I wrote down yesterday was Charlotte team total over. They're 5-1 to the over in their last 6 games is double digit. The Wizards are 5-1 to the over in their last 6 games as double digit dogs, and they're allowing 130 points. This is the Washington Wizards defense. They also playing at the second fastest pace in the last 5 games, the 21st in defensive rating, and that's all against the 4th easiest strength of schedule. So I do expect Charlotte to be able to score the basketball. But then when I look at the Wizards, I know Charlotte's been playing some pretty good defense. I just think it's a game where they probably take the night off on defense, right? Like you see certain teams especially teams that are ascending, you see them start to let up off the gas a little bit. We saw it last night with the Spurs, kind of like a trap game for them before playing Detroit tomorrow. They allowed the Sacramento Kings. Sacramento Kings can't score against anybody. They allowed Sacramento to get to like 112 last night. So I kind of think we see Charlotte in today's role. I think they play that role. And I do think that Washington's going to be able to contribute as well. Washington team total is 106.5, 107.5. I think they can be able to get to that in this game. So I bet over in this game. I like over. I think both teams will be able to score. I talked about it a lot already, but Chicago, offensive rebound rate, 3rd in NBA. They should be able to get a clean up on the glass. And Washington not going to play a lot of defense in this game, especially without rim protection like Sar. So I like over in this one. I think I disagree with the line coming down, but the total over in this one. Let's see. What are you guys saying? Prolific says OKC has been trash lately. SGA been BSing. He hasn't been playing. Yeah, Dom's just put it in too. US on the goal. That's dope, man. I missed it, but I'm glad they won. All right, next game up. Gotta talk about my Lakers. So Lakers and Celtics. This game opened with the Lakers. What did I write in my notes yesterday? I think they were getting a point. Yeah, they were +1. Total was at 228. We've seen a little bit of money coming in on over 229. We've seen the Lakers go from a 1-point dog to a 2-point dog. And I don't think I could disagree. So let's get into it. So Boston has only Tatum on the injury report. The Lakers will be fully healthy in this game. Nobody listed on the injury report for the Lakers. So I spent a lot of time on this game yesterday. I know like the Boston Celtics have been the better team. They're 18-10 straight up on the road, 18-9-1 against the number on the road, 8-2 straight up in their last 10 games. They've been hooping. The Lakers 16-10 at home, 8-3 straight up, 6-5 against the number in games where Luka, Bron, and Austin Reeves have played. The only game that they were a dog when all three of those players played was against the Rockets on Christmas, and they got absolutely smoked in that game. Lost that game by 23 points. They have won 5 of their last 7, but the two losses, the Lakers' last two losses came against the Spurs and the Oklahoma City Thunder. And in my opinion, those are the only two teams that recently that they played that has a defense as close to the Boston Celtics. They lost both of those games by 9+ points. So I know the San Antonio game was a game that nobody really played in, like they had the bench in. Boston did win the earlier matchup 126-105 as an 8.5 point favorite in that game. This is it's a really tricky game from a total perspective. And I told myself I was going to stay away from the total. And I can see it kind of going both ways, right? Friday, we took Lakers and Clippers over the 220, like 4.5 or whatever the number was. I showed you guys the numbers where the Lakers were playing home games with a total that was, in the 220s. They all go over, right? Lakers typically just go over. But the Celtics are the slowest paced team in the NBA. They're 8-2 to the under in their last 10 games. And that makes it difficult because the Lakers are also not a fast-paced team. When they have Austin Reeves, LeBron, and Luka in, I do think the offense gets better. So initially, my thought process was just take the Boston team total over. The Lakers haven't showed that they can play any defense. They also, in the last month, they're 0-5 straight up and against the number when they've been a dog. Losses to the Clippers, the Cavs, the Knicks, the Thunder, the Spurs. Most of those were on the road, but regardless, I think Boston can win this game. I think they're the right side. I think Boston money line, like Jackson said, is the best play on the board. It does feel a little easy to take Boston in this spot, though. It does feel a little easy. I think we see them play really, really well. I also think Jaylen Brown is in a really good matchup as well. We go over. If I'm playing a prop, I like Jaylen Brown. If I'm playing a game, I like the Celtics. Maybe Celtics team total over. Just kind of think the Lakers will push them to have to play fast. So real quick, if we go over to Outlier here, and there's a link in the description, as always, if you guys are interested in checking it out. We look at Jaylen Brown. We know he's been on an absolute tear. I think his points was listed at 27.5. Lakers don't have anybody to really throw at him, in my opinion. Maybe they make it hard by forcing the ball out of his hands like they did Kawhi in that last game. We go here. We look at his points. We can see that he's been struggling as of late. 3 straight games he stayed under the number. This Warriors game was a blowout. They only won by 11, but they were up by 20 at halftime. The Chicago game was also a blowout. Only played 28 minutes in this game. And this next game, they got blown out in this one as well. So we look at the head-to-head matchups. He typically plays pretty well against the Lakers. We can see that last year in the March game, he had 31 and then 30 in this game against the Lakers earlier this season as well. Shooting the ball pretty efficiently. Looks like 52%, 45%, 41% from the three-point line, 50% here, 43% here. Last 2 meetings. So, yeah, I don't think the Lakers have, really have anybody to slow down JB in this spot. I would be playing him over. Looks like 28.5 is the number if I was going to bet a player prop in this one. Last 3 small forwards that the Lakers have faced, they've absolutely cooked them. You can see Kawhi had 31, Benedict Mathurin had 26, and Derrick Jones had 13, all clearing their numbers pretty comfortably. And then, of course, the Lakers defensively, just neutral, a neutral defense. The Lakers are 17th in defensive rating against the small forward position. Look at this. Actually give up the most points out of any team in the NBA. Probably because Braun going to be guarding. But yeah, they give up a ton of points to the small forward position. So it should be a good matchup for Jalen Brunson in this spot. If I'm playing a player prop, that's probably the one I'm playing. I know it's pretty, sometimes you don't really got to, do too much. The players are just kind of 1 + 1 = 2 sometimes, like my guy Ski says. I think that this could be a game where 1 + 1 = 2 for Jalen Brunson. Yesterday, Drummond play was pretty easy as well, right? It's like, it's not super complicated. You don't need to, do rocket science to find the angle. So that's what I'm thinking here. Jalen Brown points and Celtics on the money line. Celtics team total over. The problem is the Lakers JJ Redick come up with some good schemes at times. Celtics are missing threes. It could be problematic. The Lakers actually been a really good 3-point defense as well. Shoot on the three. One thing that I'm gonna give you guys some numbers real quick. So the Lakers, the Celtics, we know they want to shoot a ton of threes. They, I think, are number one in the NBA and number two in 3-point frequency and 12th in accuracy. Last 5 games, 7th in frequency, 26th in accuracy. So they haven't even been knocking them down recently. The Lakers are actually, crazy enough, the Lakers are actually 4th in opponent 3-point frequency. So they're running teams off the 3-point line, making teams get to the rim. That could benefit Jaylen Brown as well. 4th in frequency, 3rd in opponent 3-point accuracy, holding teams to 31.8% over the last 2 weeks of play for the Lakers. So that kept me off. Like, and I think the game will go under. I can see a game that goes under in this spot as well. But I'm not, with the Lakers having all three, their big three in. I think that they should be able to score the basketball a little bit more. So that's my thought process. Let's see what you guys are thinking here. Dimes, the Celtics team total over. That's a fact, Blunt. I'm right there with you. I just told you 0-5 against the number when they are dogs in their last 5 games. I like Celtics as well. Deuce says, bless up, Chris took LeBron over his assists and boards. I hope the weekend treated you well. So far, so good. We up a little bit on the weekend. Mid-range Bully says Peyton Pritchard over his points. He's been cashing money off the bench. Yeah, he's been hooping. He has been hooping. Let's see. Markel says, is this where the Lakers get their lick back from the refs in Boston? That game where Bron went erratic. You talk about the game where Patrick Beverly was showing the camera and got the text. That was funny, bro. I saw that like a couple weeks ago. And it was like a post on Twitter. It was like, what's the funniest NBA moments? That was definitely probably one of the funniest. He said, that's a foul. That's a foul. I remember watching that. What up, Better on Reds? He says, what's good, Chris? I took the Celtics to cover the first half spread tonight. Man. Celtics first half. Let's go look at this, Better on Reds. I kind of want to see this real quick. And then I'm going to go through the rest of the gear. Let's go to the Money Baller real quick. So if we look at this game from first half perspective, I know the Celtics have been good in the first half. Don't get it twisted. I just kind of feel like Luka is a whole different player. First quarter Luka might be the best player in the NBA in history that we've ever seen, honestly. Dude averages like 16 points in the first quarter. It's like everything he shoots just goes in. So we do have an under system here. Under on a matchup between two elite teams. You can see that last 5 years, 55% it looks like. And last year specifically, 50%. So not a big edge there. Lakers got double-digit in-season revenge. All right, let's go look at some of these first half numbers. I want to see Lakers as a home dog. So against the spread as a home dog, not good. 3-5 against the number. So Celtics first half, 12-6 is road favorites in the first half. I wonder how many of these games had Bron, Luka, and AD all a part of them. That would be the next thing I would want to know. I feel like I had it pulled up too. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I know I had it in here. Dang, I don't want to hold the show up, but I'm pretty sure I had it in here. I just want to see what their numbers look like in this spot. That's frustrating. It's cool though. It is cool. I'm not gonna stay on it, but yeah, this looks like Celtics first half. I just want to know the number with everybody in for the Lakers though. Let's look at last 10 games real quick. Bring it down. Celtics 2-0, Lakers 0-2. Home dog just not their role. Last 20, 0-2, Celtics 5-2. Yeah, that makes sense. Maybe take Celtics early. I think the Celtics can win the game, both ways. Home dog record, Lakers 7-1 to the over. Their opponent team total is 7-1 to the over. So going back to what Dom says, they just give it up in this spot. They give it up, and they typically give it up on the defensive end. If their opponent's team totals are 7-1 to the over, it means that they're not playing defense in these games with their home dogs. Yep. All right. That's enough of that one. Celtics first half makes sense. Makes sense for sure. They typically get rolling early. Uh, let's see. I thought about more about full game, but that makes sense. H-Town says Marcus Smart over is 1.5 charges drawn on Jaylen Brown. You do know how to guard them. They, with teammates. 77 figures to Celtics -1. They play defense. That's a fact. You use Moneyballer for the pick. Word. That's what's up. Okay. Site is goated. Yeah, that's a fact. It absolutely is. Yeah. You know what, Daniel? I don't think that you could say the Lakers are elite. I think offensively they are elite though. Like they got some really, like, Austin Reeves is a hooper. He's an absolute hooper. They don't play no defense, but offensively they are elite. I really now want to see the numbers. I don't know what I did with the numbers. I'm not sure why I can't find them. Pretty sure I had to hold up. I'm not sure. That's cool. Oh, this is Boston 14-3 ATS in the first half versus the West. Oh, man. It seemed like everybody liking the first half. Maybe now I want to switch. It's like, nah, I'm just kidding. JB will take the challenge on the defensive end. Bron then dribbles. It's to death. Reeves forces to take a tough shot. Bad combo for the Lakers. Yeah, I agree. They're good, but just not elite, especially on defense. To be good, you got to be elite on both ends of the court, right? I mean, to be elite, you got to be good on both ends of the court. All right, that was the last game that I wanted to go through. Let's talk about the other ones real quick. So, briefly, let me just make sure these lines haven't changed too much. So, Brooklyn, OKC. My homeboy from Atlanta was texting me this morning. He was like, okay, he was like Atlanta, right? And I was like, I mean, I guess Brooklyn is terrible, right? We know that they are not great at all. Here's the thing, though, right? And I screenshotted this and sent it to him this morning. I didn't even need to look at it. The Hawks are 5-7 straight up and 2-10 against the spread if they're a home favorite. Not for my money. Like, I'll never trust the Hawks laying points in Atlanta. Also 8-4 to the under. So maybe I look towards the under. The total 231.5 is what it opened at. It's actually all the way down to 228.5. So the money has come in on under. Guess I would agree with that. Brooklyn should get Claxton back. I think Atlanta has a pretty clean injury report. Brooklyn 3 straight losses, 3 straight non-coverage. But like I said, Atlanta 10-16 straight up at home, 9-17 against the spread, 3-7 against the spread in their last 10, 3 straight unders, and again 2-10 against the number as a home favorite. So no parts of Atlanta for me, even though that line has gone up to 9.5. All right, next one was Toronto and Milwaukee, and I kind of stayed away from this one. I didn't really look too deeply into this one. Toronto has Scotty Barnes listed as out because of personal reasons, and then Miles Turner is listed as questionable. That line had went down to 2.5, and I do see some 2.5s, but it's 3.5 on some books. Total hasn't really moved a lot. 221.5, 219.5. I kind of want to play over, honestly. I know Scotty Barnes not being there hurts the offense for the Toronto Raptors, but I mean, you still got RJ Barrett, you still got Quickly. Milwaukee has been able to score the basketball. They've covered the number in a lot of games. Real quick, let me just see real quick with the Bucks. The Bucks have been playing well. It's kind of crazy. They get Cam Thomas to start, hooping. They've won 3 straight. They've won 6 of their last 7. They beat the brakes off the Bulls by 16. They were getting 1.5 in that game. They beat the Pelicans by 4. They were getting 4.5 in that game. They beat the Pacers by 6. We're getting 1.5 in that game. Lost to the Magic, got smoked, but then bounced back, smoked the Magic, beat them by 8. They were getting 11.5 in that game, and then beat the Thunder right before the break, beat them by 17. We're getting 13.5 in that game, which is crazy. And then smoked the Pelicans again, beat the Pelicans by 21. So yeah, I guess, contrarian look. I don't even know how contrarian it is, but I guess Bucks would be it for me. And maybe I look towards the under as well. That's my thought process on that one. I didn't really take too much time in that game. Dallas and Indiana is an interesting one. So Christie's questionable, Gafford is questionable, Flag is out, and Andrew Nembhard is questionable as well. Siakam is questionable after missing 2 games for personal reasons. So I don't want to, Indiana just lost back-to-back games to the Wizards. We know what type of time they on. Now, if they win this game it wouldn't surprise me because they come home, they probably gonna want to put on a good show for their fans. The Dallas Mavericks being a road favorite though was so interesting to me. So I spent some time doing this. The Mavs are only 5-19 straight up on the road, and now they land points 8-16 against the spread on the road. They hadn't won a game in a full calendar month. Last win they had came against the Washington Wizards against the Golden State Warriors back on the 22nd of January. 5 straight road games for them, 10-game losing streak for them. So I looked at teams that were on a 10-game losing streak, and then they were road favorites in the next game. And the only time it's only happened 3 times. And those 3 times, the team that was a road favorite won every single game. They're 3-0 straight up, 3-0 against the spread. So that says Dallas is favored for a reason. The creed does kind of make sense in my opinion because Dallas isn't necessarily tanking. I think they're just more injury prone. But they're still playing hard. Indiana, in my opinion, kind of actively tanking, evident by losing back-to-back games to the Washington Wizards. But Pascal Siakam and Nembhard playing is going to tell us a lot in this game. I would look towards Dallas if those guys aren't in, but ultimately I'm going to stay off. And then Philly and Minnesota. I said Gobert is listed as out because of the suspension. Picked up a flagrant foul, a technical foul for hitting homeboy in the face the other day. And then, of course, Minnesota. Philly can submit the injury report late. I'm guessing Embiid doesn't play on the second leg of a back-to-back, but not 100% sure. Philly is playing unrested. They've lost 4 straight, haven't covered any of them. They're 3-1 to the over in their last 4 in those games. They've given up 126 points in 3 of their last 4 games as well. And I think that's why this total is up from 236.5 all the way up to 239.5. Now, the thing we got to remember is, for whatever reason, Minnesota stinks when they're supposed to be able to score the basketball. Remember, they couldn't score the basketball last game against the Dallas Mavericks. They went under their team total in that game and didn't cover the spread. So I'm never in a rush to go late points with Minnesota. This line was at 8. It went up to 9. Now it looks like I see some 8.5s out there, some 9s out there. Yes, Philly has been trash. Yes, Minnesota has also been trash covering these big numbers. So maybe this is a game where you fade Anthony Edwards, with him, dropping 40 in the last game. We talked about him being 7-1 to the under on his points, rebounds, and assists when they play at home because he just don't give a lot of effort. And, I talked about this yesterday, but we took Kate under his points, rebounds, and assists in that last game against the Dallas Mavericks. And the only reason he played so I guess aggressively is because he said it after the game because he saw K score 40, so he needed to go score 40. That's just bad luck. That's bad luck because one thing about Anthony Edwards, he's very, very consistent. If he's playing against a superstar, he's gonna get up for the game. If he's playing against a team without their superstars, a team that's struggling on a Sunday, I don't expect a lot from Minnesota in this game. So as high as this total goes, I kind of still lean under. I still lean under. Minnesota was, I think, 6-1 to the under in those games where they were big home favorites. I kind of think it still goes under, but I'm not going to touch the total or the game. This is their 6th straight home game, 3 straight wins, but they've only covered 2 of their last 7 for the Minnesota Timberwolves. And then it's a couple more. So Portland and Phoenix, 2.5 was the number. It looks like it's up to 3.5 now. Total was at 222.5. Was at 223.5. It's come down a point. So Shaedon Sharpe is out. Then of course, Phoenix is going to be extremely shorthanded in this game. So for people who don't know, Dylan Brooks broke his hand. Devin Booker, I don't think he's coming back today. Jalen Green, I'm not expecting to play on the second leg of a back-to-back. He played 37 minutes last night. And Portland, this is any other team outside of Portland, I probably would have laid the points and I probably would have been playing under. Because that's what it's supposed to do, what's supposed to happen, right? You got a Portland team, though, that has been absolutely god-awful. They're 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 games, 8-0 to the over in their last 8 games. But this is a game that Phoenix is supposed to run out of gas in, right? 3rd and 4. They're coming off a double overtime game. They won that game on the Jalen Green 3-pointer last night. But I think they're gonna be without Jalen Green. I don't expect him to play, with him playing 37 minutes last night and this being one of his first games back. Grayson Allen was listed as questionable yesterday. He could potentially not play. So I think that the game should go under. But Portland, you gave up 157 to the Nuggets on the second leg of a back-to-back. What are we doing out there in Portland, man? They're playing defense with a sleep mask on. So Portland does have double revenge. Both for the first 2 games, they go over the total as well. I looked at teams that were coming off a win that went over in their last 2 games. I looked at teams that were coming off a win that went to at least 2 overtimes in their last 10 games, and they were 98 and 133 straight up, only 43% cover rate as well. If they were unrested, they're 25 and 30 straight up, 25, 29 and 1 against the numbers. So about 46% says that you laid a 3.5 with the Portland Trailblazers, but not for my money. I need to see it from Portland before I want to take them in this spot. They should be able to get right, but I can't do it right now. Not with the way that they've been playing recently. And I know that this Phoenix offense is going to be nothing like the Denver offense, that they just played against. But I couldn't get there, man. I could not get there. I wanted to play under. I looked at teams that gave up 140 points in their last game and that are road favorites. And they weren't coming off an overtime game, because sometimes you can give up 140 coming off an overtime game. Teams that were not coming off an overtime game, they gave up 140 points and they're road favorites. They are 21 and 8 to the under, 73%. So I wanted to play under. Portland defense has not been good. 8-0 to the over in their last 10 games. And 222.5 is a trap number, in my opinion. This is something 2 years ago I would smash the under on, and then it finished 224. So best of luck if you guys are interested in that game. I will not be participating. Knicks and Bulls. Just the way that the Knicks had to fight tooth and nail last night kind of makes me think that game goes under. The total has dropped from 232.5 down to 231.5. Knicks were laying 10.5. They're still laying 10.5. Mitchell Robinson, unlikely to play on the second leg of a back-to-back. I kind of wonder if Giddey will be playing in this game as well, because both teams are playing second leg of back-to-back. The Knicks come from behind win last night against the Houston Rockets at home, so they'll travel. Chicago is playing, I think it's their, how many games is in a row? I think like 5 or 6 straight games at home. We know the Knicks typically don't cover on the road. They haven't been covering at all recently. They didn't cover the game last night either. I think it's 3 straight non-covers for them, 9-16-1 against the spread on the road, 3 straight overs before last night. They got a big game against the Cavs coming up on Tuesday as well. For the Bulls, they've lost 10 straight, only 1-9 against the spread in their last 10. Both times that these two teams have played, they have gone over the number so far this season, 233.5 and 234.5. I guess I kind of agree with that too. I kind of feel like this game will be played fast. The Bulls really do stink now, though. I want to make sure I say that. I'm watching the game closely yesterday against Detroit, and they start the game off like 9 for 12 from the 3-point line. The Bulls do, and they're still losing. I'm like, damn, like, how you 9 for 12 from the 3-point line and you still losing the game? So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if the Knicks were able to run away with this one, even on the second leg of back-to-back with travel. But I think it's a game that ultimately I'll stay off of. I guess I kind of lean over, but the Knicks play so slow. I think that they should be able to score the basketball well in this game. This is nothing like the Houston Rockets defense from last night, but it does kind of worry me that they on the second leg of a back-to-back have to travel and Chicago doesn't. So off of that game as well. And then the last one on the board was Orlando and the Clippers. -4 was the number. It came down to 2.5. Total was at 216. It's down to 215.5. So John Collins is out. Kawhi is listed as questionable. One of the reasons why I didn't play this game. Kawhi got injured in that game against the Lakers the other night, kind of checked himself out and didn't come back with a couple minutes left. John Collins got hit pretty hard. He, of course, is out. And Orlando can submit their injury report late. And I do expect some players to be on it. Now, Jalen Suggs didn't play yesterday. He could potentially play today. Maybe Mo doesn't play. I know he hasn't played in a lot of games since he returned. All Orlando players played big minutes last night. They lost in double overtime in Phoenix, so short travel, but double overtime is like playing a whole nother quarter. The Clippers also have Darius Garland listed on the injury report, but how can you play this game if you don't know if Kawhi is going to play or not? Orlando has not been good on the road. I told you guys this yesterday. They had played an easy strength of schedule in their last 5 games before playing against Phoenix. And this was a game that Dillon Brooks actually went out in, and he broke his hand in the first quarter. So Orlando's 9-16-1 against the spread on the road. 8-4 against the spread when they're playing with less rest than their opponent. 10-2 straight up in that spot as well. 5-2 straight up and 4-3 against the spread when they're playing unrested. But 0-5 straight up and 1-4 against the spread as a road dog in non-conference games. So this has not been a spot that you necessarily want to take Orlando in. If you want Orlando, maybe you take them early, maybe first half before they run out of gas late. The Clippers, I do expect to play a little bit of defense in this game. The defense has been pretty good outside of the Lakers game where they were on the second leg of a back-to-back. But it's also 3rd and 4 for the Clippers as well. I'm sorry, for Orlando, 3rd and 4, and all of them have been on the road as well. Clippers have actually covered 5 straight. So in this one, I looked at unrested teams that are coming off a game that went to at least double overtime. 19 and 31 straight up, but 25. So these were unrested teams coming off a game that went to double overtime and they lost, right? So now you get a chance to get some quick get back, even though you are supposed to be tired. 25, 20, and 5 ATS, 56%. If you add to their road dog, they're 21, 11, and 1 to the under, that's 65%. Then I looked at road dogs coming off a game with at least 2 overtimes, playing unrested in a non-conference game, right? So maybe you don't care about this one as much. 35% ATS, 69% to the under. This total is just so low. And you also need to see if Kawhi is going to play. So I'm just sharing notes just so you guys know, right? I'm always doing my work. But yeah, some strong trends toward the under here. Total 215 is super low though. Need to know if Kawhi is going to play. So I didn't play that one. Let's see what you guys said, and then we'll get ready to get off of here. Hopefully what I shared was helpful for you guys though. And I don't see a lot of comments coming in here. Daniel says, they can become elite more that they're healthy. I'll have to watch and see. Agree with that, Daniel. He says, Nas Reed over his points, rebounds, and assists with no Rudy. That makes a ton of sense. 77 Figures says, Philly mini, please. Love Philly plus the 8.5. Is Joel playing? I don't think that he's going to play 7, but I'm actually not 100% sure. I didn't see anything about Nick Nurse talking about it yesterday. Then it says Philly, Minnesota over as well. Okay. And beat over his first quarter points if he plays. What up, Smoke? He says, let's cook the books. Daniel says 145 watching with 40 some likes. Let's go, people. Yeah, appreciate that if y'all can hit the button. Mark says, played the under 234.5. Don't think Dallas offense. Don't like Dallas offense without flag. Man, I don't like the Pacers defense. The Pacers are coming off back-to-back games. Let's see. The Pacers are coming off back-to-back games, Mark, where they gave up 131 to the Wizards. Giving up 131 to the Wizards is crazy. I don't care who you got out there. And then they gave up 112 to the Wizards the night before that. I don't know. 234 is a lot, though. Consensus would say, yeah, just take the under for sure. Something you hold your nose and do, don't even watch the game. I can see that, Mark. Don says Pacers team plays Pacers plus 2.5. This is one they will try to win. It's hard to gauge which ones they are trying to win, but we shall see. Injury report with Siakam and Nembhard listed as questionable. It will tell us pretty much everything we need to know, in my opinion. Dude says he took Philly plus 8.5. I have come to conclusion when the big names play, they do better. I kind of want to get there with Philly as well. Yeah, 157 is crazy. Smoke says he got the magic money line. Adam says, thanks, Chris. Allen first quarter over 4.5, averaging 8. Last 5 games scored 10. Last game, Harden feeding them. Yeah, but this is probably the most difficult matchup, Adam, that I think he could potentially play at all. You got. I was thinking about this yesterday because I feel like he's kind of underrated. I've been watching. I saw the graphic. You guys probably have seen it too if you're looking on Twitter. The graphic before James Harden got there for Jared Allen and the one after, and he's averaging like 6 more points. But we know OKC, if they give it up, it's typically to the 3-point line. So we'll see, man. I don't think Jared Allen's gonna have a great game in this spot, but that's my opinion. I think that's why one of the reasons why this team total could go under. I got that Cleveland team total under 115.5 locked and loaded in the chamber, just haven't pulled the number yet. Miss Smokes a Lot says Pacers be good next year if they get a good pick. Yeah, they probably will bounce back for sure. Dude says Najee points over his points. I took him under the other day, but I like him over his points today. Against the Pacers, that makes a ton of sense. I actually like this a lot. I mean, it just kind of makes a ton of sense. What's Najee listed at today? It's probably already started to move, but this makes a ton of sense in my opinion. Somebody got to score the basketball. Najee is listed at 18.5. 18.5 a lot. I mean, but the Pacers defense is so bad. They are so bad. 18.5 minus 102 on FanDuel right now. Well, actually, you can get even plus 100 on BetMGM. Plus 100 on BetMGM. All right, that's it for the picks. As far as I think that's it for the comments. As far as what I bet, I'm gonna play Boston money line. I may add Boston first half as well, and then Charlotte Washington. Give me the over 226.5. The Golden State over with the Nuggets. I told you guys that makes a ton of sense. And then Cleveland and OKC. If I'm playing, I think I'm playing OKC team total under, or I'm playing Cleveland team total under 115.5, or the full game under 226. I might just include OKC. I think their offense is going to continue to struggle as well. Cleveland's been playing some pretty good defense. And yeah, I think Harden, this is going to be the most difficult game for Harden as well, in my opinion. So yeah, that's what I like, man. That's what I like. Player props, Jaylen Brown, and I'm going to look a little bit deeper into the Najee Marshall look. I like the Najee Marshall look as well. And yeah, that's it. Big slate. Don't really love too much of it, but yeah, monitor the injury report as I always tell you guys. Best of luck if you tell any of my picks. Best of luck on your own action as well. Resources all listed in the description of the video. Jackson, Outlier, Moneyball, or OddsJam. There's also discount codes if you guys are interested in signing up using any of those as well for your own handicapping process. Best of luck on your action, man. Catch you guys tomorrow, probably tomorrow morning, super early. Get into that cart tonight. Yeah. All right. I'm out, man. Enjoy the Sunday.